Hello everyone, this video is about Boston House price prediction using machine learning and Python. We already know that machine learning is an application of artificial intelligence that provides the system the ability to learn and improve from experience without being explicitly programmed by us. Machine learning uses three types of algorithms to learn. They are supervised learning, and the second one is unsupervised learning, and the third one is reinforcement learning. So here, to predict the prices of houses, we have used supervised learning and linear regression model. Here we provided input variables and target values, and we update them until it achieves accuracy. Coming to the code, the Boston House price data set is already present in the sklearn library, and we have also imported some common libraries that are widely used in the machine learning, and we have imported them using the import function. Coming to the imported libraries, first one is NumPy, which is used to perform vectorized operations, and the second one is Pandas, which is used to load data frame objects. And coming to the next one, it is Matplotlib, which is used to draw graphs, and we have also imported FuncAnimation, which is used to generate animation. sklearn library contains machine learning algorithms used to split data sets and provides model for evaluation. As we can see from sklearn.dataset, we have imported load_Boston. In this model, we have to split the training and model dataset. So coming to the load_Boston, this is used to load Boston House dataset, and mean squared error is used to find mean error. And as I've already said, we have to split the training and model datasets. Train_test_split is used for this, and min-max scaler is used to transform features by scaling each feature to a given range, and ipython.display is used to display. This code has 5 steps. They are data processing, and the second one is defining error function, and the third one is splitting data set, and the fourth one is training the model using linear regression, and finally the fifth step is testing the machine. Coming to the first step, that is pre-processing, we loaded using load_Boston and used describe function to describe each and every feature. As we can see down here, there are 13 features, and they include per capita crime rate by town, age, tax, PTR ratio, and all of these. To assign these 13 features to a vectorized variable called features, it is done by using an object called data frame, which is shown, and we have printed the column names as future names, and we can observe a table of 13 columns and 506 rows. We can print any one column. For example, I have printed age column using features of age. It contains all the 506 rows and only one column of age. We have assigned target values to a variable called target using data frame, as we have used above, and we have printed the target. As we can see here, it also contains 506 columns 506 rows and 1 column of target. To find the range of the target, we have used min and max commands. As we can see here, we are using min and max commands, and the target minimum and maximum values of the target are 5 and 50 respectively. So the range is between 5 and 50. Here I have concatenated these 13 futures with the target values using the function concat, pd.concat. So this table consists of 14 columns and 506 rows. Coming to the next step, we have to find this is used to just round down everything to 2 decimal points. As we can see here, everything is rounded off to 2 decimal points. Coming to the next step, we have to find the maximum correlation object as we are using linear regression model. This model predicts linear relationship between x and y so that x should be in maximum correlation with the target values y. A correlation matrix is created to quantify and summarize the relationship between variables x and y. This is closely related with the covariance matrix. As we can see here, we have created a correlation matrix, and this is a square matrix that contains Pearson correlation coefficient. We have printed it using plt.show, and we can observe here that LSTAT has maximum correlation with target variables followed by RM and others. We have printed the list of futures, and we have assigned LSTAT to x and target values to y, and we have printed 5 values of y. But as we can see here, it has wide range. So to avoid this, we use min-max scalar to normalize these values. As we can see here, we have used min-max scalar to normalize these values which are high in range. And then coming to the next line, we use fit_transform, which is used to center the data. It does subtract the mean and then divide the result by standard deviation. So fit transform is used for fitting of parameters and on training set, and it also returns a transformed x. As we can see here, we have min-maxed it and then transformed it and then assigned to the x value. Similarly, the y values, which are the target values, are also scaled using min-max scalar and transformed using fit_transform, and these values are assigned to the variable y. And as we can see here, we have also printed the first 5 values of y. These values are normalized, as we can see, but as we see above, the values are not normalized. So our function is fulfilled. And coming to the next step, it is defining error function. We have defined mean squared error function using e equal to sum of m into x plus c minus t whole square and then returned. And coming to the third step, we have to split dataset, and it is done by using train_test_split, which is split into training dataset and testing dataset. And coming to the next point, it is the fourth step, which is training model using linear regression. And we have defined a function called the gradient descent. The gradient descent is an optimization algorithm used to minimize those error functions that you have found by iteratively moving in the direction of lowest error and defined by the negative of gradient. It is used to update the variables in linear regression model. That is, it updates and returns the m and c values, which are the slope and intercept of the line which is found in linear regression model. As we can see here, it returns M and C values. We can see here that learning rate, the size of these steps which we are iterating over, is called learning rate. The learning rate shouldn't be too high or too low because they comes with a certain problems. So we have to maintain a moderate learning rate. So we have maintained moderate learning rate, and we have initially given an error threshold value and user given value. And if we can see here that if the error E is less than the error threshold given by the user, it prints that error is less than threshold stopping gradient descent. As we can see here, if E is less than error threshold, it prints error is less than threshold stopping gradient descent. And in this gradient descent function, we have updated the MC values thoroughly, and we have returned MC error values, MC values, so that it will have best accuracy. So we can check it by giving the initial values and iterations as input here. We have to observe this learning process by visualizing it by HTML function. As we can see in this video, we observe that the width of each and every iteration lies move nearer to our target value. So as we can see down in the graph, when we plot the graph between y train, that is actual target values, y train, that is actual target values, and m into x train plus c, which is our predictor values, our model is successfully predicting the house prices. As we can see, a lot of them are surrounded around the straight line. So we have predicted the house prices correctly. Next, to avoid increase of iterations, we plot a graph between error and iterations, and error becomes constant after some iterations. As we see here, the error becomes constant after some iterations. So we have no problem even if the number of iterations increased. So coming to the next step, it is testing the machine. Assigning testing variable to predicted variable, and found the predicted variable, and the mean square error is found, and we got the value as we can see here. And then concatenated target and predictor values using the data frame object. We can see they are close, so we can say that, as you can see, they are close, so we can say that we have predicted correctly. When we plot the graph on testing dataset, it is the same as above, that is, our machine is successfully finding target values for testing dataset also. Previously, as we centered data using fit_transform, we have to apply the inverse transform to regain the original values from the normalized values. So we have used inverse_transform of xtest, and scaled it, and we have assigned it to xtest scale, and similarly ytest2, and we can see those values, unnormalized values, that is the original values, and they are very close. So our machine is successful in predicting the values. So we have, the machine has built successfully. Here, coming to the conclusion, we made a machine learning linear regression project from end to end and obtained several insights about regression models and how they are developed. Thank you.